You know why I'm here? I'm here because affordability is the central issue all over this country. And New York City is proof of that. When someone stands up and says, I will lead this city by making it more affordable. And here are my plans, real plans to deliver on childcare, plans to deliver on housing, plans to deliver. We're going to experiment. We're going to try things on groceries. That is the Democratic message. The difference between the two parties is that one party is making it clear they're here for the billionaires, right? Donald Trump and the Republicans in Washington just passed a tax and spend big ugly bill that says we're going to take 17 million Americans off health care so that we can give trillions of dollars in tax giveaways to
I wonder if she went on other shows, if they would fact check her. Because she can get up there. By the way, does she always look like she's on the verge of tears, or is it just me? She always looks like she's about to just start crying. And of course, Zorhan the Great's just nodding along. This plan he's talking about? What is it? Oh, that's right. You want the government to take over the grocery stores. You just heard from Mike Ruley, whose family owns grocery stores. You're going to go from a bustling grocery business of tens of thousands of SKUs, items, down to this much, and you better get there before everybody else is. There's going to be empty shelves. See, the one thing that I don't understand, and nobody explains it, is if you want government groceries, how is that going to work? How are you going to purchase the groceries? Anybody asking that? Hey, Zorhan, yeah, you want to do this. Where are you getting the money to buy the groceries to stock on the shelves? Huh? Yeah, you're going to tax more. That's what you're saying. We need to tax you more so we can buy groceries because that's not in our budget. We're going to have to tax you to put groceries on the shelves. Everything that they want to do is going to cost New Yorkers more money. And then what they're hoping is that if Donald Trump's not in office, the federal government will subsidize New York. That's the long game plan. Oh, we'll have all the money we need once we get Donald Trump out of office. We just need to get by and strangle you people in New York right now. Affordability is the message. If affordability was what's most important to the Democrats, they wouldn't try to tax the hell out of you every situation, every time that they do. If you want people to have more money in their pocket so they can afford more things, stop taking it from them. That's a very simple way to make things more affordable. Hey, if I didn't pay 30 or 40% of my money to the government, then I'd have more money to spend on stuff. No, that's not what they're talking about. She's talking about the poor peoples. This part of the population. She's not talking about you. You're working, you're retired. No, she wants to take your money and give it to them so they can afford stuff that, you can't afford. These people are devious.
Full of billionaires and billionaire corporations. For me, New York City is the place to start the conversation for Democrats on how affordability is the central issue, the central reason to be a Democrat, and that delivering on it in meaningful, tangible ways that will touch working families is why we're here.
So, Senator, well, then who's the leadership from the Democratic side that you think?
All 47 of us. All 47 of us in the United States. Right. Really?
I don't know if you guys heard what he said. The question was, who's the leader of the Democrat Party in the Senate? She's like, all 47 of us. And the other guy off camera goes, it's not working. How do you respond to that, Liz? Hey, right to your face, a television host says, hey, everything you're doing, it ain't working.
Well, I mean, you're not managing to change anything.
Yeah, we are still in
convincing some of your colleagues to think differently.
Actually, I disagree with you. What we're doing is we're driving a single message now. This is why I'm in New York City today, to meet with Zoran Mamdani. And that is, it's all about affordability. Remember, Donald Trump ran for office saying he would lower costs on day one. Cost of groceries are up. Cost of housing is up. Cost of healthcare is up.
Remember, you just watched CNBC that fact-checked every statement President Trump made? The guy even said, hold on, we got to fact-check what you're saying. And even the guy who was fact-checking him said, we don't do that with Democrats. She's vomiting on these people on their set at the New York Stock Exchange, and nobody's fact-checking her.
And where is Donald Trump? He's passing a signature bill to throw people off their health care so he can do tax cuts for billionaires. Democrats are the people who say billionaires actually should pay their fair share and that we need to fight.
There's that again. Not one single time has any anchor anywhere said, excuse me, Liz, you guys have been saying this for years. Can you define fair share? We all would like to know when we get to the point where we've paid our fair share. What is the metric? Please tell me so I can actually say the next time you say that, hey, that's not me. I paid my fair share. Because there's no such thing. It's a unicorn. It's a Democrat talking out of her butt, lying about affordability while telling other people they need to pay their fair share. You can ask your friends, what's fair share? I've been saying this for probably 2 years, even before I had this YouTube channel. I'm like, can somebody tell me what fair share is? Is there a definition? Croc, what's fair share? Hey, anybody, AOC, Jasmine Crockett, you guys talk so much, but you don't say anything. Tell me what a fair share is so I can write it down and know once I get there, according to your definition, I can say, paid in full. They'll never tell you because it's a unicorn and all it does is allow them to keep saying it because nobody who makes over a certain amount is ever going to pay the fair share that they're thinking about.
On affordability for American families. And that's what we're out there fighting for.
You mentioned Mamdani, and you are in New York, sort of speaking in behalf of him to a certain extent. I wonder, though, often we see this, and this is a local election. Mm-hmm. New York does not operate in a vacuum. It competes with other cities. And so this idea of somehow raising taxes on the wealthiest New Yorkers, who, by the way, I would point out, pay roughly 15% of their income right now between city and state. Raising taxes on them will simply drive them away. Shouldn't the focus of a mayor be on delivering services to the constituents of the city and doing that by raising the most revenue as possible without chasing businesses and the high income taxpayers out of the city, because they can go to Austin, they can go to Dallas, they can go to Atlanta, they can go to Nashville. This is your issue. It's a national issue, not a local issue.
The issue is affordability. Do you know how many working families are chased out of?
She can't answer that. It's like a red hair. I don't know, Bigfoot, Sasquatch, say whatever you want. They can't even address it. Hey, Liz, you understand if you keep going back to the well, eventually the well is going to dry up, or people are going to take their well with them and go to Florida or Texas or wherever. What are you going to do about that? Well, the issue right now is affordability for the poor peoples, because the poor peoples are going to vote for us. You want to go back to the question? Can you tell me what's fair share? What are you going to do when people go, I've had it. You're not doing it anymore. I'm heading out of here. It's kryptonite to these people.
New York City every day because they can't afford housing, they can't afford groceries, they can't afford childcare. What Zoran is saying is, I want people to be able to afford to live in New York City. That's what keeps it a vibrant city. That's what makes people want to live
Nobody
here.
disagrees.
See, by the way, if you look at the numbers there, Zoran the Great is at 35%, Cuomo at 22%, and Sliwa at 18%. That's 40%. And then Eric Adams at 12%. That's 52%. They are actually beating Zoran. The fact is that these three guys can't get together and say, let's make a coalition to take this dude down. It wouldn't even be a close race if two or three of them just came together and said, hey, we're going to make this a three-headed monster, whatever. We're going to take down Zoran. He can't win. But as long as they keep trying to fight it out, that's what's going to happen.
with that, Senator, but raising taxes in order to do it?
Oh,
Why
my
is that
goodness.
the answer?
Oh, dear. Are you worried that billionaires are going to go hungry?
No, I'm worried that they're going to leave and spend their money elsewhere.
You know, they threatened to do that over and over and over.
And they have. They've left.
But here's the thing.
And Goldman Sachs, when they create new jobs, they do it in Dallas. And Blackstone won't build a new headquarters. They go on and on.
You want to have a workable city? You want to have a city that's vibrant? You want to have a city where
He's trying to tell her the people with money who have the opportunity to flee your insanity are going to flee. And she won't discuss it. All his great plans only work if you're able to tax people in that area to pay more for your insanity. And their tunnel vision is like this, where they don't even want to discuss it. She thinks the money would just stay there. And I can tell you, living here, it's the private jets just keep coming. What do you got here? I mean, it's absolutely insane that they won't even answer the question. What are you going to do when people are already paying 50% of their income in New York and you're going to tax them some more and eventually they're going to say, the hell with this and get out, and she doesn't care? Make it make sense.
streets are full, where there are things for sale 24 hours a day, then you need people who can live here and work here.
Well, we got that right now, by the way. I would point out New York is thriving. So right now it's doing pretty well, actually.
I'm glad you think they're doing well, because a lot of people are struggling to pay for housing. A lot of people are struggling to pay for groceries. And I got to tell you, mamas and daddies who are facing $25,000 a year to pay for childcare.
Those are national issues. I mean, I know they are the local state, but you can't.
New York City.
Yes, but if you deal with them in that way, by what is always your backup, just tax them more, they will leave.
No, the backup is make this city and make this country work for everyone. I get that the Republican point of view is make this.
Liz, it's simple math. Don't get mad. How are you going to pay for it? What are you going to do when people say, F you, we're out? It's a very simple question. How did this woman ever get voted in? How were there enough people who listened to her complete insanity and not say, you don't have an idea what the hell you're talking about? And the guy in CNBC here is like, what don't you understand? You are a crazy woman right now. I'm trying to give you the opportunity on national television to show people you're not bat poop crazy, and all you're doing is showing people you're bat poop crazy.
Country and make every city in this country work better and better for a handful of billionaires and let everybody else eat dirt. But what Mamdani won on in a Democratic primary is he said, I'm going to address affordability. And he didn't win by one.
No, he won by a lot. It's very much unclear he has the ability to actually do it, by the way, based on the laws and what the governor has to say and what he would actually have to do.
You know, I love that as the fallback position, and that is he's fighting for the right thing, but maybe the billionaires will have
everybody wants a more affordable city. There's no doubt about that. The question is how you go.
I actually do have a doubt about that. The
build more housing.
Don't want to pay their part on this.
I would just, if that was me, I would cut the interview and go, you guys see this? I'm done. I'm done talking to people like this. They don't want to know. They have no clue. They can't even speak. This is CNBC. Let's talk economics. Let's talk money. You're here, right here. You're sitting in the Wall Street, in the stock exchange. Let's talk reality here. Where are you going to get the money? And stop saying millionaires and billionaires and everybody else eats dirt. I'm not a billionaire. And you can tell by looking at me, I don't eat dirt. So there's a huge line between billionaire and dirt cookies from Haiti. You don't have to be a billionaire not to eat dirt. But she thinks there's nothing in between. Oh, it's millionaires and billionaires or dirt. You don't think there are a lot of middle income, maybe upper income people in the New York area who are living in, a row home, or maybe have 4 or 5 roommates in a step up that are getting by working on Wall Street? I can tell you they are, because my niece is there. but you think there's this huge, huge difference between billionaires and dirt. There's nothing in between. And that's what she wants. Can you imagine? That's the people she wants to talk to. She wants to talk to the people who are eating dirt. And she's convincing these people who are eating dirt because those are the people who probably are eating dirt because they don't have the skill set to not eat dirt. And so she's fighting for the poor people. The people are eating dirt, so while the billionaires can do whatever they want. What about the person making $100,000? What about the person making 150? They're not billionaires. You make 125, 150 in New York, you're barely getting by. That's why you need 2 or 3 roommates. So all of you making 125, 150, and you can get together and have a decent looking place and actually survive. They're not eating dirt. They're not billionaires, but they're not eating dirt. And you want to take more of their money.
More housing, you do try to make it more affordable, but it is a very difficult thing to do. You know that around the country. This is not an issue that just here in New York. It's everywhere.
But it's not an issue that Eric Adams was fighting for. It's certainly not an issue that Andrew
I think the mayor would say they have been trying to focus on building as many new.
Mamdani is the one who said, I will make this a priority. And you know what he said? He said, I'm really going to lean in on childcare. I'm really going to lean in on housing. And I'm even going to try some new things to bring down the cost of groceries.
So it doesn't concern you that
I'm not going to sit around and pretend, it's a federal problem. Let the federal government fix this.
You can say all these things, but again, I think many people would disagree to the extent that by raising taxes and making it more onerous for business, that create the job, that create the revenues on which tax revenues come from, that you'd ultimately be dealing with a smaller pie. He may succeed by driving everybody out. Rents will go down.
That the best way to run city government or national government is to start with the billionaires and say, what will work best for you? Vote Republican.
I don't think anybody in New York is talking about doing that.
If you don't, then let's make the city more affordable. Let's make the country more affordable. And the way we do that, let's focus on housing. Let's focus on...
Yeah, are we doing the I dream a genie thing here? Or the bewitched thing? Let's make it more affordable. Yes, come on down. You too can have a row house or a townhouse in Manhattan. How? Because we're just going to make it more affordable. In order to make something more affordable, don't the people have to, quote, afford it? See, that's where her whole thing messes up here. Wow, that's a nice house. What's it cost? It's about $1.2 million for this townhouse. Oh, I can't afford it. So what do you want to do, Liz? We want to make it more affordable. Okay. What do you do? How are you going to make it more affordable? We're going to lower the price to, $400,000. How are you going to do that? I'm listening. How are you going to turn that $1 million townhouse into a $200,000 flat? You must have the wiggle from Bewitched or something. Tell me how that specifically happens. Or even if you were successful at that, even if you were somehow just be able to do the I dream a genie thing and drop it down to 200,000, how's that help the person afford it? You dropped it by 5. It was $1 million. Now you got 200,000. Can you afford a $200,000 house? Nope. Then what do you do if the person who you think you're helping still can't afford to live there? What the hell do you do? The guy who's unfortunately maybe sleeping on a sidewalk isn't tomorrow going to be able to afford even a $100,000 townhouse. So how do you make something more affordable? My entire life, if I want something, I have to earn more to buy what I want. It's a simple concept that even kids learn. Hey, what do you want to eat? Well, I'd like to go get some Chick-fil-A. I only got $15. I guess you're eating a McChicken sandwich then. You can't afford Chick-fil-A. You can't make Chick-fil-A sell you the same price chicken sandwich as McDonald's. By the way, if you ever went to a McDonald's in Manhattan, you ain't getting a $2 chicken sandwich. So tell me, how are you going to help the people who can't afford to live there, live anywhere? Oh, it's communist. You're going to have rent free. Oh, you don't have to pay for rent. It's not a commodity. You got to decommoditize it. Remember, that's what Zorhan already said. I played that video yesterday. Oh, we're just going to make it government housing. Oh, so you're just going to turn New York into one giant ass slum. Nobody's pushing these people, but probably because you can't, because they won't answer.
Groceries. Let's focus on childcare. Donald Trump
These are your
ran.
issues.
Donald,
These are national
Donald
issues.
Trump
You deal with
ran
that.
For and New York should just say,
No,
we want us
the
the
mayor of New
billionaire
York
pay
should
whatever
focus
he
on
wants.
delivering the most services to the citizens of the city and make it a point of
I'm
improving
sorry,
life for them.
your fellow New Yorkers have said he should focus on affordability. This is why they have voted for Mondami, and that's why today I will be here to talk about his plans on childcare, why people are talking about his plans. He's going to experiment to try to bring down grocery costs in food deserts. God bless him on that. He's going to try something. When's the last time you saw America? I'm going to try something.
You think
for
somebody who has
families, and
absolutely
he's
no
gonna bring
experience,
down-
33-year-old socialist, is going to succeed as the mayor of New York?
Yes, I
With
do.
no real
I
experience
think
whatsoever in
he's
city
going to do a
government?
lot more for working families than someone like Somo, who says, how many billions of dollars can we get into my campaign so that I can try to beat this guy back? Look, this is democracy at work. People want to see someone who's on their side, and that is Zoran Mamdani.
Wow. I live in Boca, and our mayor does a great job by making things, making opportunity. You know, if you want to go and build 600 houses like are happening down the street, there was an old farm that somebody said I needed to get the zoning for so that I could build the 600 farms. I already purchased the land, and then they go downtown and say, here's what we're going to build. Okay, you're building 600 more homes. What's that do? That increases the tax basis. Over here, the guy down this side of the street, he's building like 400 new homes. Same thing. It was a nice orange grove. He bought it, and now they're building houses. And they make, zoning things. Hey, you got to have a nice pool here. You got to have enough green space. You got to make it look nice. But that's business. And then, of course, the people, if there was no demand, they wouldn't be building those houses. But they're building those houses because people in New York are saying, we're getting the hell out of here. So if you don't understand opportunity and how to seize opportunity, you're looking at making New York City a giant slum. It's not a bad thing to say some people are going to sweep floors. Some people are going to ride on the back of the garbage truck. Doesn't mean they're less people. Doesn't mean you're better than them. Every time our garbage guys come out, I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning so I can just wave to them. Hey, what's up, bro? They smile. They smile because they're doing a job that they're getting paid for. And then, of course, during Christmas and Thanksgiving, they're getting overtime because there's so much stuff out there. And God forbid we have a hurricane. Oh, man, I bet you they're making triple time cleaning the roads up. Somebody's got to do these jobs. And the Democrats don't think anybody should have to do that. You shouldn't have to be a garbage man. Well, what if that garbage man has made enough over his couple of years where he now buys a house? Oh, no, you don't deserve that. We need to tax him. How do you expect people to climb the ladder if you don't want the ladder even there? Everybody needs to be right here eating dirt. Makes no sense.
Are we running the country for a handful of billionaires? Or are we running this country for the American people, for working families? We are focused increasingly on affordability.
So someone told her, this is our new buzzword. We're going to keep saying affordability without ever saying the only way you can increase affordability if people can afford what you're making more affordable. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter whatsoever. I would love to be on the Intercoastal with like a 70-foot yacht. I can't afford it. I cannot go up there. Hey, man, how much for that? That's about a $20 million boat. What'd you say? $20 million? You put that on layaway or something? I drive up and down the street all the time, right by the Intercoastal, and there's not one $20 million boat. There's all kinds of $20 million boats. Doesn't make me think I want to storm their castle, their big houses, or just jump on their boat and go, I should have this. No, what it makes me do is like, you know what? You got a whole bunch of videos to make, bro. And you got to go buy some houses and sell some houses, because if Robin wants that boat, which ain't ever going to happen unless they hit the lottery, but maybe this boat. That's how Americans think. I can't do that. That's out the cards. I'm not going to have the 70-foot, 170-foot boat, but maybe we can do the 40-foot boat. Can we do that? Okay, that's doable. That thing, that ain't ever going to happen. I'm 64 years old. Those days are gone. Maybe my grandson can sign an NFL contract and buy one of those boats for me. But other than that, you can't make that yacht more affordable. I don't have the money. So how are you going to get these people in New York who don't have the money to do anything that you're talking about? It just isn't again, it's not magic.
Promised on day one that he was going to lower costs for Americans. And what has he done? The cost of groceries is up. The cost of utilities is up. The cost of healthcare is up. The cost of housing is up. And the Republicans now have their big signature achievement under Donald Trump's direction. And that is every single Republican in Congress voted to cut health care for 17 million Americans and give trillions of dollars in tax breaks to a handful of billionaires, billionaire corporations, and some extra leftover for the millionaires.